welcome back. This is Growing Up Female, Raising a Confident Daughter. This is part 3 of a 3-part video series, and today we're going to talk about body image, which is a huge issue for girls and for women today. I am Amy Sluss. I am the author of this program. I've been working with girls and moms for over 18 years on these very issues: raising a confident daughter, body image, and all sorts of related topics. So welcome back. I'm interested in helping girls from the preteen years maintain their sense of self, their sense of positive, their energy level, their confidence, all the way up through those preteen, teen years and into the young adult years, so that these girls, these daughters that we love so very, very much, have the confidence and the skills to go off into the world and be these amazing people that we know that they are. Where we've been, in video 1, we talked about 3 E's, things that parents can do to help build confidence in their daughters, the 3E approach: educate, empower, and embrace. The educate part is about all those things that the girls don't learn in school, but they still really need to know. How does power work in the world? How does money work in the world? How do you actually put together a budget and stick to it? Empower. Girls are most empowered by actually getting their hands on and being invited to do things. Let them help plan. Let them budget the next vacation along with you. Let them make some mistakes. That's how we learn. And the final E is embrace. We want to embrace our daughters for who they are, for the amazing girls and individuals they happen to be. We want them to be able to embrace their own sense of self too, because those girls who do that are far more confident and go forward to meet their goals in life much easier. In video 2, we spent a lot of time talking about that mother-daughter connection. It can feel strained in the preteen and the teen years. The girls are becoming more independent, they're stretching, they're reaching out into the world, they're looking for answers in other places, and that's all fine and good. However, they need their mothers. Even if they act like they don't want them or they don't need them, they will appreciate their mother's connection to them and involvement in their life. So we spent a whole session on how to keep connected between mothers and daughters. So go back and watch that one if you haven't seen it. Now we're moving swiftly into video 3 about building up girls by bolstering their body image, which is a really, really difficult but important thing to do. Trust me, I've been working on this for over 18 years with other mothers and daughters, and for 28 years as I raised my own daughter. So I have a pretty good grasp of this subject. It also helps that I'm a registered nurse and I've worked in the healthcare system for over 30, almost 35 years. During that time, I've come to really respect what the human body can do. I have an amazing awe for the human body and all of its working. So I like to pass that off to the girls I work with and the moms I work with. I have a lot of insights about how we can do that. We have come so far as women and girls, and we have so far yet to go. Body image is unfortunately one of the things that gets damaged in girls. Usually by about age 10 it starts, and it often gets worse and worse and more challenged through all of the teen years. One study showed that over 90%, well over actually 90% of young women not only had a negative body image, but they had violent thoughts about their bodies, not every once in a while, but every day. We know as the adults in the world, especially the adult women, that the female body is exploited constantly in photos, videos, music, fashion, humor, you name it. Girls don't know what to do with all of this exploitation as they grow up. They see it, they don't even know how to name it, and they don't know what to do. We are here to help girls. We are not a commodity. The female body is a dignified, beautiful, human form. Our bodies are good, they're amazing and wonderful, and they're ours. They don't belong to anyone else. They don't belong to the people who look at the girls. They don't belong, girl bodies and women's bodies don't belong to the porn industry. Our bodies don't belong to the beauty industry. They don't belong to anyone. They belong to us as individuals. We can help girls claim that because it is fabulous to be a girl, a teen, and a woman. It's really wonderful. Especially when we get together and when we spend time together and we build each other up. That's one of the really fun things about the events that I get to lead. It is true that the adult women of today are not the same as their mothers, but I want you to know that our mother's generation is cheering us on. I have worked with women who actually look just like this. The older women in their late 80s, in their 90s, in their late 70s, they understand the issues that we're fighting for today about body image and about the female form and how we're treated. They are right behind you, and it strengthens us to know that we're such a strong community. And if we hold our hands, if we work together and we go out into the world, we can do this. We can do it for our daughters, and we can do it for ourselves and for upcoming generations of girls and women. I have discovered quite a good secret after doing this work for so long, after walking with individuals and families through health issues in hospitals, home care, hospice, and office settings. I have found out what it really takes to maintain this positive sense of body image. Are you ready? Here it is. The secret is nobody can tell your daughter who she is or what her body is for if she already has a solid foundation, a good understanding. If she knows what her body is about, if she feels good about who she is, they can't take that away from her. They can try, but it won't stick. When a girl or a woman knows who she is and she's well connected to that, the outside messages just don't have as much impact. So we're going to return to the beginning. We talked about building her confidence, to educate her, empower her, and embrace her for who she is. If we do this in community, it has the most power. It's best if we start young and we give a girl age-appropriate information about her body. We need to educate her about her body parts, how they work. We need to empower her by helping her understand and actually get practice in taking care of herself, and help her embrace this idea that it's fabulous to be female, it's good to be a girl, and it can be so much fun. Here's one of the rubs. As adult women, the only way we can transmit these messages to our girls is to have them ourselves, to believe these messages ourselves, because we model to the girls of today, even if we don't mean to. The things that we say about ourselves, the way we carry our bodies, the way we take care of ourselves sends great big strong messages to your daughter. So work on your own body image. Clean up your self-talk. If you trash your body by saying, oh, my butt's so fat, or oh, if I could just lose 20 pounds, I would feel so much better. Clean up your self-talk. Clean it up for your daughter. Clean it up for yourself. Share your experiences, your struggles with body image, your desire to give your daughter something better with other women. They will support you, and it's so much more fun that way. Read books to build you up. Help your daughter read books to build her up. Meditate. Take the time to think about who you are, how you want to transmit this sense of being a girl or a woman to your daughter, and meditate on it. Spend 10 minutes in quiet. Turn off the electronic devices. Take some really deep breaths. In and out through your nose. Nice and long inhale, nice long exhale. Meditate on the goodness of your body. And if you really struggle with this issue, find a good therapist and go. You may even really like it. If you live in the San Francisco Bay Area, for now, that's where I am doing my Growing Up Female events. Come. I do 3 levels. One for 4th and 5th grade girls, one for middle school girls, another one for high school girls. Those offerings are being expanded. You may be partially transformed yourself. I hear feedback from mothers every time I do an event, and very often I hear that they feel better about who they are after these events that they come to bring and teach their daughter. But it's a community event. We build everybody up there at the same time. If your daughter's already a teen, do not despair. It is never too late to instill positive messages. It can take more effort if she has taken on a negative sense of self, specifically about her body. If you or your daughter already have a negative self-image where your body is concerned, watch this series multiple times, take notes, try to put all of the suggestions into use in your life. Use affirmations regularly. Copy down the ones that we present in this program. Come up with your own positive statements about yourself that you repeat over and over again. Write them on 3x5 cards, post them where you're going to see them, say them out loud, say them to yourself. Of course, you can come to my events, and then there are more strategies. Here are things that work. Books, education, we're back to that first E. Read all you can about the healthy workings of the female body. This is for girls as well as for mothers. So find an age-appropriate book for your daughter. There are books that are good for girls in 2nd and 3rd grade, 4th and 5th grade. There are books, the middle school years are difficult because most parents don't want their girls to have some of the information that some of these books have in them about sexuality. Most of the girls are hearing these things anyway, so you may as well feed them a book, give them a book, and feed them information that you approve of. High school, there are all kinds of books about the human body. Talk to your daughter about what she's learning in the books and what you're learning about the human body. Discuss the cultural images that you see. How are they unrealistic? Look at the images on magazine covers and billboards and talk to your daughter about the beauty products that are advertised on television. How are they unrealistic? How do those women exceed all the things that we should expect from them in their looks? Finally, and this is a big one, we have to bust the shame-blame game about the female body. And I have a lot more to say about that. There are a lot of reasons that women are made to feel bad about their bodies. The first one that came to my mind is that if we feel inadequate, we are more likely to buy products that make us feel good or feel better. I'm not saying that everyone in the beauty industry is trying to make us feel bad about who we are, but we have to admit that if we see our, quote, imperfections and believe that we can correct them or we ought to correct them, we're more likely to spend money on products to do that. Our children are easily persuaded in that way. In addition, if we're made to feel small, others can feel big and powerful. That's sort of the bully mentality, right? And if we feel badly about how our bodies work, we're less likely to stand up to the dominant part of a culture and show just how powerful we are when we're living our full female humanity. Think about why the Taliban keep women underground and disempowered. The truth is, people are a force to reckon with, and if we stand up and we claim who we are, the world has to take notice. Some people are really afraid of that. Brene Brown, the researcher who's done so much work on shame, has found and will say that shame requires secrecy, silence, and judgment. We have been very secretive and very silent about the human body, the female human body, and very judgmental. Look at the tabloids that cast judgment on women's bodies all the time. We judge ourselves. We don't want to talk about some of the sensitive things about our bodies. We have been shamed. One of my biggest strategies, my biggest goals in growing up female is to bust open that shame game. In my events, we talk about how the human body works. A girl growing up needs to know how her body works. Talk openly. Talk with other girls and women. It's not shameful to have a uterus. Matter of fact, it's a beautiful thing if you can help your daughter realize that every single human being on the planet came from a uterus. It's a beautiful thing. Help her embrace the normalcy of her body and celebrate who she is. The problem is if we don't direct our attention to this shame-blame game, it will undermine a girl's sense of herself. Her self-confidence can plummet, and it can set up a life pattern of self-hatred that can have very serious ramifications for life. Many physical illnesses are related to poor body image. Many mental illnesses are as well. Depression, eating disorders, self-harm, and more. Why haven't we solved this yet? What stands in our way? Well, honestly, the conversations are uncomfortable. I talked about that in the last video, so go back and look at that. Parents also think that it's covered in school, these topics about how the body works and sexuality, or maybe if you talked about it once in family life, it's all good that she knows everything that she needs to know, but it's not true. Another thing that stands in our way is many of us mothers feel shame ourselves. We were brought up in a culture that taught us that there was something sort of wrong with our bodies. Maybe not directly wrong, but they just weren't very good. So if I'm not very good, then there's something wrong with me. Here are some more strategies to address the body issues. Number one, get off the grid. Take your daughter out hiking. Take her somewhere where she can't get electronic communications and you can't either. Spend time doing something physical. Make a long-term commitment to this project because outer influences will not go away. You build this foundation on a young girl, you have to stick with her and help beat down these cultural messages every single year, every month, every week, because they will try to get through to her. If your daughter already has a negative self-image, you're going to have to work even longer and harder. It's pretty easy these days to find books, movies, or museum displays that have really nice information about the human body that helps elicit this sense of awe and wonder. It truly is, the human body truly is the most amazing thing to study. The way everything works together, the way the body heals itself, what happens when we sleep, all kinds of things. Be physically active together and help your daughter be physically active every day. Even if she doesn't like physical activity, find something that she does like to do that requires movement and do it together if you can. Otherwise, make sure she gets to it. Then fine-tune your own pleasure sensors. What does pleasure feel like? What makes you feel good? It's okay, we're human, we're allowed to feel pleasure. Teach your daughter that. Tastes, smells, touches, sounds, lots of things bring us pleasure. Practice conscious breathing or mindful breathing. The truth is most of us breathe very shallowly throughout our whole lives, and if we slow down, take some nice deep breaths in and out, inhalation about the same length as exhalation, we connect more soundly to our bodies. If you combine affirmations with deep breathing, you're going to be even more powerful. Here are some affirmations that can be helpful. My body is an amazing creation. My body is an amazing creation. I love having a healthy and well-functioning body. I love having a healthy and well-functioning body. Don't you? What's at risk if we don't do this? Your daughter's entire sense of herself. And I'm not exaggerating. She matters. I want her to be able to say this affirmation: I matter, and what I have to offer this world also matters. We're in this together. Let me know how I can help you. turn to other women for support. Like I said, the generation or two above us, older than us, they're right there with us. They understand these issues and they are cheering us on, along with cheering on the young girls of today. I'm going to close with a reflection for you. Our daughter's future, a step along the way. It helps now and then to step back and take a long view. Our daughter's future is not only beyond our control, it is even beyond our vision. Through our parenting, we accomplish only a tiny fraction of the magnificent enterprise that will contribute to who our daughters become. Nothing we do is complete, which is a way of saying that the outcomes of her life lie beyond us. We parents plant the seeds that one day will grow. We water seeds already planted, knowing that they hold future promise. We lay foundations that will need further development. We provide yeast that produces far beyond our capabilities. We cannot do everything, and there is a sense of liberation in realizing that. This enables us to do something, and to do it very well. We are her guides, and our actions, however humble, pave the way to a future that is not our own. It is her future. That reflection is adapted from a speech by Bishop Ken Uniter of Saginaw. It is often attributed to Archbishop Oscar Romero, but Oscar Romero never said those words. It was actually this other bishop. And I have adapted it to a parent's vision. Please stay in touch with me. I'd love to help you continue to raise your daughter. You can find my website, www.fab2bfem.com, and I really do think it's fabulous to be female. Let us raise our daughters to understand that, wrap their arms around that, and live that from today forward. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd like you to leave a comment at the end of this video, please. How did it touch you? What would you like to hear more of? What are your challenges with body image? Remember, we're all in this together, and your comments, your questions may help somebody else. Thank you so much for joining me.